Hello, good morning and welcome. It's the 29th of April. It's just after 7 o'clock in the morning, and we're going to do the Commitment of Traders report. As we know, the Commitment of Traders report is one of the greatest tools for finding turning points in the market. So that's what we look for in it. And in the Australian dollar here, we're not actually at a turning point. We've turned, we expect it to follow on through, and as the selling follows on through, so the commercials should sell off and go down and maybe even cross over as they did here. So that's what we're looking for. They're 3 to 1 short. There's 3 times as many short positions as long positions by the commercials on the Commitment of Traders. British pound, yes, they've come down a little bit to about a midline. So what I will say is that the commercials are 175 to 82. That's just a little over 1.5 to 1 long the pound, and we're getting to a little bit of a grey area here. Might see a little bit of a bounce. We'll have to see what happens. Canadian dollar, there's been so many people leave, so many contracts that people have got out of. There's very little money left on this, and that's what's given us this skewed figure. But what I can say on the Canadian dollar is we've had 9,000 extra long contracts taken out this week. So that's actually given us this little bit of a step up here. 9,000 extra long contracts. Euro, we are still heavily bearish, the euro. It's at an extreme. So there we go with that. Japanese yen. Now this is 125 to 91 long. So as you can see, a lot of the positions have been sold out. It's nowhere near as long as it was, but we are expecting more strength in the yen. This might come from selling off on the S&P, or a bit of risk off on the Dow and the American shares. So there we go. Swiss franc. There isn't really a clear signal on this. It's, believe it or not, 10 to 1 long, which shows how many shorts are actually taken out by speculators on the Swiss franc. If there's a crash in the euro, then there will be a boom, a hike in the price of the Swiss franc on safe haven. Yeah. Mexican peso. We have gone extremely bearish on this. So we are looking for a follow through of the selling of the peso. We had a little bit of a flutter earlier this week with a speech by Mr. Trump, and then he said that he took everything back that he said and said he was going to do a new deal. But I take it the new deal won't be as good as the old deal, so there will be a little bit of downside for the peso. New Zealand dollar. New Zealand dollar, yes, we are 4 to 1 long the New Zealand dollar. So we've got this extreme here on the chart. Shows up nicely. We're looking for the New Zealand dollar to gain strength. So that will be nice. May it come next week, because I could really do with it. 4 to 1 long. Energies. Crude oil. Crude oil. It's about at a mid-range. You know, I mean, we can even see that on the chart. It's starting to stick a little bit. It could do with oiling. It's sticking a little bit. It's hitting support. It's tried to go down. It's popped back up. It should really follow through, but there's there isn't anything really on the commitment and traders that I could say there. You know, you can back this because of. So, you know, other fundamentals come into play. Metals. Oh, my silver trade. This has done really nicely. This has done really nicely, and we're not as bearish as we were. So basically, we might see a little bit of an ease up. I've put a stop in on my silver trade, just slightly in profit of the bottom selling point. So there might be a little bit of a run on. If there is, I might just take it. So we'll look to next week for that. Here we go, the S&P. It's about the same as it was last week. I actually think that this is going to short, but there's no evidence of it here. It still is bearish, and the monthly has gone above the 69.1 on the RSI. Well, what's the Dow Jones looking like? Dow Jones has remained about the same as it was last week, which is fairly bearish. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with those two next week. And I'd just like to thank everybody for watching, and the subscriptions and the likes, very much appreciated. And we'll see you again next week. Thank you. Bye now.